Hey, it's your boy DD758, Sakafet. To all my subscribers, I'd like to say thank you. And to all my new subscribers, I'd like to say thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to leave a comment. And do not forget to subscribe. Married at first sight. This is getting. I like this episode because of the way it went. I want to start off with everybody's, you know what, everybody's likes and dislikes, which is, I'm going to start calling him Chris Jackson because we know that whole thing that's transpired with this guy, Derek Jackson, but that's Chris Jackson. But Chris and Paige, they started, they met, they started playing basketball. And after that, they had a conversation where Paige brought up he been engaged before and he never told her. And like, he's like, that man voice irritates me so much. Like I kind of like the way he speaks, it's like he's just not interested in anything Paige wants to say or anything Paige wants to address. And then they had that conversation. She brought it up, and it's like he's playing it off when she asked him about his prior engagement he had before, and then his second one, and now he's on the show. So he played it off like he don't want to talk about it, but which was fine. Then it got to the point where they had that game of pools, and that's when it actually really got serious between the two of them. The conversation got really serious. So when they got to that point, they were speaking about it, and Chris is like, well, it got to a point in the conversation, he's talking about, well, he's the life of the party. And afterwards, he gets a little quiet. Come on, Chris, come on. We don't have time for that. We don't want to hear about that because everybody can see through you and see through your lies. And throughout that whole experience, Chris has just been lying. He have just not been truthful. He has not been emotionally connected to Paige. He's not showing any interest in Paige. There is nothing Chris is doing, in my opinion, to make Paige feel comfortable or make Paige feel like she is a woman or she's a wife or she is something of value of substance to it. So it got to the point where the conversation continued, and when that conversation continued, Paige is like, she's dealing with a stranger. I say to myself, well, my mom always told me stranger danger. And Chris falls in that bracket because he's a flight risk, in my opinion. He's just a flight risk. And she spoke when the conversation continued, Chris is like, well, like he wants a serious relationship, he wants a serious marriage. So Chris, what have Paige been doing? Please tell me what have Paige been doing, because I'm trying to figure out what has Paige been doing. Paige have been there for you, your ride or die from the starting of that marriage. Paige was committed to that marriage from the starting. You don't want that say you're not physically attracted to her. You don't want that said you want the trophy wife. You don't want that said you're spiritually attracted to her because that's what you use because you know she's a good Christian girl to manipulate her to get her to end up in bed with you at the end of the night. So I'm trying to figure out what is Chris talking about? Chris Jackson is talking about. I'm really trying to figure out what is he talking about because I was so lost when he started saying that nonsense about he's looking for a serious relationship and he's looking for a serious marriage. So what have you been doing, Chris, to have a serious relationship or a serious marriage? Last episode 10, you bought a Mercedes. So did Paige get anybody any Mercedes? Did Paige buy anybody a Ferrari or something? No, she didn't. So you you just doing stuff that don't make no sense to me as a man. So I cannot understand how you're saying you want a serious marriage, you want a serious relationship. What have Paige been doing? Then you telling Paige when she acts a certain way on camera, and when she's off camera, she acts a different way towards you. Chris, Paige is not going to sit there. Well, hopefully, she's not going to sit there forever and take all your nonsense you're saying and expect her to answer your calls, expect her to be there for you emotionally, expect her to be your support system because you have put her through so much that she cannot take it anymore. So I don't see why you expect Paige to literally be there for you emotionally or be there for you to support you. She's in her thoughts because she's struggling with your marriage. And at this point, when it got to the end where everybody were reviewing the wedding day. She was there. She was there by herself, which I agree with her. And she just watched it, and it's like, I hopefully, that's what I'm saying. I hope there's not a rebound in that basketball match. Hopefully, it's over. So we're just waiting for the rest of the season so then we can see. But in my head, I think Paige will leave that man. And from the rumors, it sounds like Paige will leave him because Paige is there's so much that Paige can take, and Paige needs to leave and she needs to get out. And Chris, Mr. Chris Jackson, my my advice to you is stop being a Chris Jackson. Try and be a Christian man. Try and be a real man. Just try it. It's a nice and it's a wonderful experience. And stop being a Chris Jackson. Because that's men like that make good men out there look like there ain't no good men out there, basically. And then sometimes a woman might find a good man, and because of his or because of the experience those type of men put the women through, it really just don't make any sense to a woman to have a man in her life. So let's just hope that finally Paige is out of all that slackness. She's out of that ungodly man. She's out. We have to see. We have to wait and see how the rest of the season play out, which is a little torturing for me watching Paige in that situation. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And I like this episode because at least she her voice, she had a little bit in her voice this time, making him know, telling him how she felt. And you can see she's getting to the point where she's getting to the end of her rope, and I'm happy about that. But the last time I was happy about that, I was so disappointed by the next episode. So let's just see how long I can stay happy about it and not be disappointed in the next episode. Then we have Champagne Vinny, which is my boy. I like Champagne Vinny and Briana. Champagne and Vinny and Briana. That whole episode about with them, it was really romantic. They had their little dinner, they had their little stuff going on. They talk about their future, whatever they want to get done. It was just for the month anniversary. For me, that in that episode, they made it a month anniversary because of what transpired in that episode, which was really good. So there wasn't much to talk about them, but just basically the fun time there. We have Clara and Ryan. With Clara and Ryan, there's an elephant in the room, and Clara is just continue being sexually frustrated. Ryan, Ryan is very puzzling. I don't know. That man is just puzzling. I don't know when we'll get to the point where probably he might fulfill her needs, or maybe the two of them can move forward as a husband and wife, like in a loving relationship or relationship that of substance. But he's really confusing. And then the two of them, there is an elephant in the room that they need to address. And she, Clara, she looks like she might not hang around for too long to continue taking what he's doing. But something is definitely not right in that relationship. Like she's the one that's more welcoming to everything, and he's holding back. There's something that he's holding back. I don't know what it is about him that he's holding back, but he's really holding back. Then we have Virginia and Erik. Virginia and Erik. Virginia and Erik always make their relationship look like it's the best relationship or the best marriage in the world in that whole season. But there are so many problems and issues that the two of them are facing. And they're just acting like, they're the best. But when they spoke about that house situation, it was just a little funny when they spoke about that house situation. Like, why would you want to rent your house out and get another house? And the two of them, like, for me, those two people just don't mesh. I don't. Those two people just they're still trying to figure it out, but they just skipping or they just jumping over the problems. And then every time a problem arises, that they don't know how to address the problem or come to a conclusion with whatever problems they're facing. And as usual, whenever you see there's drinks around, that's the first thing she grabs. Because in the ending, when they exchange gifts, their gifts were a little kind of awkward for me. But then I guess it's the thought that counts. Because that big blanket with her face on that dog, no, it didn't work for me. And he gave a picture of the coordinates and she was lost. Like she was like she's not a pilot. She's not, I guess she's not too good at geography. And then when you give her the coordinates, like she was just lost. Come on, bro. Like you can do what happened to chocolates? What happened to chocolates? You know, we bend now to be romantic. A picture with coordinates. I mean, you need to know your woman. I would not get my woman a picture of coordinates because the same way my woman would be lost. I'll get her something like chocolates. I'll get her something like, some rose petals for like, something romantic. Like just make it more romantic. A picture of coordinates. Damn, that was romantic. But anyway, I don't know. That episode wasn't too bad. And then we have Jacob and Haley. Whew. Jacob and Haley. Those two people just waste their time going to that tarot card reader because going to a tarot card reader to try and fix that relationship. Look, it's not working. That relationship is not working. You don't need no tarot card reader. It's just not working. But Haley is starting to get on my nerves a bit with some of the lies she tells. And he gets to a point where he's exhausted in trying to make attempts to try and fix the marriage or try and make her be more attracted to him, and he's just exhausted, which I would be exhausted if I was in his position or his situation, because it's too much. And every time he tries, the only thing I don't like about him is those little corny jokes he always giving, like just give it up. She's not into you, she won't laugh at your jokes, so please stop with the corny jokes. But the two of them, they don't mesh. The two of them, they're not, he's not a yin, she's not his yang. So there is no way the two of them would work. But like he said, he's just waiting for the rest of the season so then they can just go their separate ways. And I like when he called her out because Haley is too much. I would not want to date or be married to a woman like Haley because it don't work. Like they're just not attracted to each other. So they just need to go their separate ways. But he's just, I guess, because of whatever NDA or whatever contracts they have, you have to play it off. But then the two of them just don't mesh. The two of them just need to just go their separate ways. And eventually they'll be happy. He will find someone, she'll find some guy. But the two of them don't mesh. But let me bring up my girl Kia. What's up, Kia?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
We're all good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Let's talk about the Kia. Who you want to address first? Because that's
First,
okay. Let's go. Talk to
them
me.
coordinates. I like it, so I guess I'm that small percentage.
You like who?
The coordinates. I liked it.
Oh, the coordinates.
Yeah.
You find it was, but do you find it was romantic?
Yeah. And he took out the time to, find out exactly where it was. And he gave you like, oh, here I'm at small percentage.
Nah, I don't know. I can think of something more romantic than that. But then, like I say, it's the thought that counts. So if you like coordinates, then that's fine. But for me,
I don't. But it was the thought behind it.
All right. What else you have to say about Virginia and Erik? But did you like the gift she gave him with that blanket with her face on it and the dog?
Well, that was just as corny, man.
Okay, well, I wouldn't like that because it's a little too, like, something like that. You have to think about us. And when she did that, it kind of came off like she was thinking about herself when she gave him that gift. For me, that's what it came off as. Because if she had a picture of the two of us on it, then fine. That means she was thinking about us, our first month anniversary, but just a picture of herself and the dog. I was like, no, that wouldn't work for me.
See, I think that, like I said, that's the gateway. Because I think I just posted something on my page about that when people do like the pictures of themselves over the bed and all that stuff. So I'm not into all that. Like, come on, we know you guys are a couple. You don't need all that.
But that situation with them in the house, what do you think about when they had that conversation?
So I think he did say that she was looking for an excuse out because it just didn't make sense to me that if he's a homeowner and you're not a homeowner, it would just make logical and financial sense. So I don't understand how she think that you can just sell a house that fast, and it's in the middle of a pandemic. So, sweetie, like, he's like, he's set in his ways, and he's probably, moving towards retirement. So he's not trying to lose money at this point in life. And then, so I think she got a little offended because her mindset was like, I'm not stupid. Sorry, sis, that was a bad decision.
Yeah, she's anyway, she's listening.
So I think they're gonna face problems down the line because she's not, she has her drinking problem and she's younger, but he's moving towards retirement. And you think differently the older you get. And if she's already coming in making bad decisions or not thinking logically, it's gonna cost the relationship. And when you get a certain age, you're not moving, or you're not just gonna lose money.
Did you hear when she mentioned that she's just afraid that he leaves because her relationship track is like men coming into her life, being with her, and then they just leave. So when she said that, I was like, So why did she come on the show if she feels that maybe it will get to the point where the men will come into her life and just leave?
Exactly.
So I guess maybe that's why she's probably trying to rush to get to that point with him where they have a house together.
But why bother? Like you said, why even come to the show if you know that you're already basically waiting for it to fail? You came in, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just want the happy time. Then, you're ready to already wait for him to leave you. Girl, he don't even know you yet.
No, but it's the way she acts. Like, that's the man for her. That's not what I get from her. Like, even if they're having the problems, and she probably just don't want him to leave. So she's probably trying to do stuff to probably get to a point that if maybe he leaves, she probably gets something from it. So she'll just not leave empty-handed, I guess.
Yeah, but that's a big ask to ask somebody to move out their home. Like,
yeah,
that's a big, that's big. And then she tried to blame it on the dogs and stuff. Like, girl, no matter where you live, if your dogs are misbehaved, if y'all move to another house, the dog's still gonna get on his nerves.
But I think from day one, when you see she started bringing the thing I like about Erik his body language will tell you a lot about if you like a situation or you don't like a situation. So when she started with all the dogs and the cats, and like I looked at his face, like he has that look on his face, he's like, I don't think so. I don't think that will work. But then he would just not say it. And that's where, for me, their relationship is struggling with their communication. Because you can see in his face, he wants to address the situation or he wants to say something, but sometimes he would just not say what's on his mind. And then when he actually do,
they're living in the moment. Because you notice they never discuss the hard issues. They basically are trying to make it through these 2 months and just say, yeah, we'll stay married. And then they got to address all these issues. Because think about it, they still haven't fully addressed these friends, these guy friends. He only met 2 of them, and she's still saying, well, there's more. So they really haven't addressed it. I don't really think he's comfortable with those 2. He just took a mental note and just kind of put it in his back pocket for a minute. So now you got the house thing, and I just think they just waiting to, blow up because they're not talking about the real issues.
Yeah, and she is very immature. But do you think they will last?
No.
Likewise, we agree on that.
She doesn't make sense. Everything she does is like childish behavior. Somebody else put in the comment that they're 2 years younger than Virginia. They don't act like her. Her logic doesn't make sense. Even from the beginning, how can you, a grown woman, falling asleep on somebody's couch? You have who does that?
Virginia. Apparently, Virginia does. And to her, she feels
a lady. Come on now. A man, it might be a little easier for you to fall asleep on your guy friend couch, but lady, we have personal things going on. So you don't want to just wake up all nasty and just like, hey, and then carry on with your day. So you just falling asleep on people random couches. These are not your boyfriends where you have like a cabinet where you got a toothbrush and, your essentials. You're just falling asleep on people's couches and just getting up, just nasty. That's not good behavior.
Well, that's just, I guess she's just one of the boys. That's how I can look at it. But then, if I have a wife, that's even Pastor Carl said that. That's a no, a big no. You're not going to be married to me and you're going to be waking up on some of your friends' couch, half drunk or dead drunk. And then next day, when I text you, you want to, oh, I fell asleep. No, you gotta, no, that ain't gonna happen. Not in my book. No.
Well,
Likewise,
why you even start that type of behavior? You know what I'm saying? You have to prepare yourself for marriage. So if she was preparing herself for marriage, she should have already been, nipping that stuff in the bud. If you're a single woman and you want to be married, you start behaving like a married person, even though you haven't found your Boaz yet. You certain things you just don't do. And so when you find that person, you don't have to really change a lot of behaviors. You already know, like, okay, this is how it's going to be. So no, I don't care for her behavior.
Look, in this comment, she said they have good chemistry, but they are not on the same page. Anybody that drink a lot of alcohol will have a good chemistry with you. It's not that hard.
I think he's just having a fun time because she's probably real, she's excited.
But for me, Kia, anybody that likes to drink, for me, you can have a fun time with them. Then you can have good chemistry. Because when you drink, for me, because sometimes I'll go to a party, and then when I drink, I'm more free up, I'm more open. And she drinks a lot. So then that chemistry will always build up between the two of them because she drinks. Mm-hmm. There's not really a time you really get her sober, and then she drinks. That drinking problem she have is basically to hide her pain. That's all she's doing. So when she drinks, she just feels free. When she's normal, you can see a different side to her. But let's see what Diali have to say about it. What's up, Diali?
Hi, how are you both?
Hey, D.
What you got to say about Erik and Virginia?
The alcoholic girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just needs to put down the wine and just, act like she's an adult, like Jesus Christ gave her some sense. I mean, I just don't see the relevance of this couple, to be honest with you, because he was having fun on the honeymoon, but we're back in the real world now, darling. This is what adults do. Adults have real life issues, and any alcohol around is not safe from her. That's the first thing she reaches for is alcohol. So she can't function without alcohol. So this relationship is just dead in the water.
Nice. Kia, you have the floor. What do you think about Clara and Ryan?
Clara and Ryan. So we were dogging poor Ryan out, but let's say even if he had a situation down there or whatever, it's only been a month. So why do we just assume that all men just want to get it in a month? He may just not want to. Like, I don't know you well enough, girl. I know that they're doing all the other things, but like you said, somebody else mentioned, what if she's the aggressor?
Mm-hmm. But I was thinking, imagine Kia, I was thinking the same thing because it's only been a month. And he, I guess, like I said, because of the background he comes from, his family, he's not that type of guy to just jump into bed with you right away. Like, he wants to take his time. And I was saying that to myself, like, I really looked at him and then I just think that he's just someone that just wants to take his time. But she now she want to get it in. Like, she wants to experience what it feels like to be in bed with him. But sometimes people misunderstand him. But then there's still something wrong with him. Forget the sex part, but there is still something wrong with him because he always looks like he's just lost in his own world.
That's probably because he's got a belly button. He's got 2 belly buttons.
Whereas, what do you mean?
Because that's why he doesn't want to get down with her, because he's got an extra belly button. And he doesn't want to find it out. Oh, well, it's the truth, isn't it? Obviously, he's probably been a very good Christian boy, because obviously you don't want to do anything like that on TV and your parents are watching. But to me, I'm sorry, I think he's got an extra belly button. I do.
Damselina just said he looks scared all the time. He actually does look scared.
And maybe he was that show for kid, because you know you have some people, parents make them sit on the porch. I always call people, you know, I was like, that's the child that the parent made him sit on the porch and watch all the other kids play. So maybe he was that kid that really didn't get out or didn't have, wasn't exposed so much. I don't know. Like I said, I do say that there's something a little off about him, but it's only been a month. Like I said, we still don't know if he's a virgin or not. But at the end of the day, maybe he just don't want to have sex with her. Like, I don't want to jump in the bed with you.
Maybe he thinks she's too fast. I don't know.
Yeah, she's definitely too fast. She's definitely too fast. But, perhaps he could do with a makeover and stop dressing like bloody Wolverine. That would help. Because if I had to wake up to Wolverine every day, I'm sorry, I ain't going to be keen to look at that man. He could keep his shirt on forever because I'd just be waiting for those days to be over because he's giving her mixed messages. He's giving her terrible mixed messages. And yet he's got his extra belly button or he's just a good Christian boy. It could be one or the other. I think it's the belly button. But at the same time, she herself is probably one of them fast women that wants everything right now.
And maybe he had a bad experience with her.
Yeah. That could just be a turn off to him.
But you also to the ending where they had that conversation, and then you can see in her face that she wasn't pleased about what he was saying. Like she looks like she was just distressed from what he was saying. Like when they had a conversation, I don't know if you saw that, Kia.
You saw he had the conversation at what point? Because they had a lot of conversations.
Like we see when they watched the video and then the wedding vows, because he wrote they were watching. The couples were watching the clips of them renewing, like when they got married and they were reading the vows. And to me, after they watched that video where he said his vows to her and she said her vows to him, and then she was like, "Oh, it's like I'm the one you were looking for all along," like but then his response to her, I can't remember exactly what he said to her, but when he responded to when she said all that, you can see on her face that she wasn't pleased about his response, like because he's taking his time, and she just finds he's just moving too slow. And I guess, like I said, she wants the relationship to go a little faster.
He's not attracted to her.
Go ahead, Diali.
Hold on. Where's Diali?
He's just not attracted to her. There's nothing really there. Because, he's saying all the right things for the camera. And to be honest with you, I think he's sparing her feelings. Because that chin is putting him off anyway. If she got that shade down, perhaps that could be a plus. And she bought, buy yourself some lingerie or something, stop walking around like, you're either a streetwalker or a bag lady. She doesn't bring nothing to the table at all, but yet she wants him to give everything all the time, give everything. I think she's doing too much. Just let him just sit back and relax and you will know if he likes you.
So let's go here. Men, like I said, I don't think this is the case with him. But men, usually don't like an aggressive woman. They may give it, have sex with her, but they're really not attracted to that type of personality. Like, okay. But I think overall, let's just think in the real world. Women, we complain so much about that bad guy. So when I'm watching it today, I watched it again today, and I was just like, okay, he's speaking these love language. Now, I don't know if he's doing it for the camera, but he's doing it. He's paying attention. So everything that she's saying, he's doing it. Just like with the lights. When she came there, he had the little Christmas lights or whatever they're called, but he hung them up for her. So those are the little things. So he might not say "I love you" right away, like the doctor at Pastor Cal said. Maybe you just don't want to say it because something hurts you with actually saying it. But you're doing all the things that basically show love. So I just think that in the real world, Clara needs to slow down. So if this relationship doesn't work, which it probably will not, but she learns how to just accept love and stop moving so fast. Because if somebody's showing you love, pay attention to the people who really love you versus somebody who just want to hit it. That's why it didn't work all those times when she was around there just giving it up. Appreciate somebody doing the nice things. Like at this point in my life, I said, Diali said, D, before you came on, talking about the coordinates. I'll take a coordinate anytime right about now.
Diali, would you take the coordinates?
No, I want this man to fling me down and take me to heaven. Yeah? He did that to me. Fling me down, take me to heaven. We'll talk about that after. We'll do that after.
You don't want the coordinates?
Yeah, I
But Kia,
want romance. He can be romantic when he's flinging me down and throwing me around the room.
but Kia, or Diali, it can be the coordinates to fling you down and make you feel, go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's all my coordinates. Don't be surprised if y'all see me next week with some coordinates behind me.
Oh no. You do want the romance, you do want all that, but come on now. It's been a month. He's taking the absolute piss. What more? What more does he want? Fair enough. If she was moving slow and if it wasn't right for her, I'd say good for him. He's being a gentleman. But this woman is absolutely desperate. She's doing everything but putting a neon sign above her head. And this man is not taking the bait. He's not taking the bait at all.
We have a man here. So, Dee, if a woman was coming off to you that aggressive, you might take it, but would you really be attracted to her, like being that aggressive?
No, but for me, that's the thing with people. Some people just go by thinking if they feel the head, but I have to have you have to have something that attracts me. And then maybe I don't think she has something that attracts him. He might be different from me. But they have to have some type of attraction between the two of us for me to feel like, all right, I feel comfortable. We can probably just get it going, like get it on. But I have to have something that I like or I'm attracted to about you.
Yeah.
If I'm not, it would for me it would not. I would not get to the point where I want to jump into bed with you. That's just me. I'm not speaking for all men. But for me, if I'm not attracted to you, there is no way I can jump into bed with you because I'll just be wasting my time or I'll be wasting your time.
You'd also know if the feeling is mutual, wouldn't you? Because that's the difference. When I found out, when I was married for such a long time, as soon as I came out of that marriage and I started dating, I realized, there are good guys out there. They're not all wanting to jump your bones and jump into bed with you. There are some good guys. But if I meet a man and he is fine and sexy and he thinks I'm fine and sexy, I'm sorry, if he had me waiting for a month, he better not ever call me back again.
Oh, you some serious boy.
I just think, look, you fancy me, I fancy you. We can put the coordinates up and love a day. Let's have this conversation right now. Let's trash this out right now. We'll talk about the other bit later.
So if the guy if he's a Christian guy and he wants to wait, what is there something wrong with that?
No, I can do Bible study with him after.
It is possible. I've talked to people for long periods of times and nothing's have never happened. So it is possible. So
Diali likes to get Diali likes to get flinged across the room. So then we know if you don't want to wait a month.
Yeah, we're in modern times. I can understand if it's on the TV. I wouldn't want my parents watching me doing anything like that on TV.
Yeah,
because it's going to be out there on the internet forever. So I could understand Wolverine being a bit shy, but this we both know. We women know in the chat. If you're with me, this man has an extra belly button, and I'm certain of it. I am certain of it. This man has a fine body. He has a messed up face and a messed up hairstyle. Fair enough, but this man has a fine body. I don't know what's wrong with him. Even if she does look like Jay Leno.
Yeah. Like I said, we will find out with the internet what was really going on with Ryan. We'll see a video. He has 2 belly buttons.
Oh,
it's true.
Give me 1 second.
That Ryan. I don't know.
There's no physical attraction. There's no physical attraction to her because she is an attractive woman. To be fair, she's an attractive woman. But like you said, I've never had to be aggressive to a guy where I'm putting it out there and say, you do this with me now. I've never had to do that. So there's something, the balance isn't quite right with those two.
I don't know.
Let's talk about let's talk about Jacob and Haley.
Oh no, gosh.
I was so happy for Jacob. Y'all know I'm Team Jacob. You know, even though Dialli was trying to say, you know, like, would you date him? No, I don't. You know, I'm not down with the onion breath. But I always like the underdog. So he finally, like, you know, when he was eating that steak, it was so funny to me because he was just eating a steak like, you know what? I'm through with you. I'm not feeling you. We're dying a slow death into divorce.
Yeah. Don't blame him. Don't blame him. Because she's giving it, to me, she's coming across like she's doing him a favor. And I think he finally just checked her, enjoyed his steak, and said, well, I'll just wait till it ends. You know, I can wait. I can see the back of your head as well. You know, because, to me, you know, I found out what you said, busted. I know what that means now. And Kia, this man is busted. He's busted to high heaven. To high heaven. I could not look at a man. No man could approach me having a fine body and a busted face. Because I think it was, I'd say, is Halloween just started or is it over? You know, is it just beginning? You know, because I'm sorry. But at the same time, she's no trophy either. So she needs to stay in her lane. She is no trophy.
Yeah, you know I'm Team Jacob. So I said he's not, you said he's always busted. I just said he's for somebody.
Challenged. Challenged. Listen, he can't fling me nowhere. I'd be flinging him out the door.
Kia, we're not friends from today. I'm not Team Jacob. I do not like Jacob and Jacob's corny jokes. Like,
no, I don't like him for myself. So, like I said, if he told me those corny jokes, I probably would be like, okay. But it's just like how you could do it respectful. I just don't like how she treats him. That's why I said I'm Team.
So
okay. I agree with you on that one because
when I said I'm for the underdog, I just don't. When people treat people poorly, it's just like, come on now, like. And then I'm gonna go in on her, like, because it's just like, sweetie, like Dialli said, sweetie, you're not in a beauty pageant. See, good for you. You'll take them, Jacob.
I couldn't do Jacob. I'm sorry.
Good for you. He probably got a good pension, a good 401k. He probably got all kind of savings and probably be another
You have to wake up to this man's face. Yeah, I ain't waking up to his 401k. You have to wake up to his face. I look at my man, when we're in bed together, and I look at him and I think, you know what, you done good. This man is fine. You done good.
You know who he looks. Wait, Kia, you know who he looks like to me? The Joker. His face.
No, he looks like a character of Sesame Street. That's what he looks like. Gonzo.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, Dini, you gotta do another show. How important are looks? Because I think people are so wrapped up on looks, and you might miss a good person.
I don't always go. You know what? You're right. I could. You could bypass looks, but I'm sorry. I would have to bag that man's head. I ain't waking up to no one that looks like Jacob. No way.
But wait, let me ask you guys a question. Did you all hear when Haley said, like, Haley feels awkward hugging him? Like, she don't feel comfortable with him touching her. Do you think maybe something transpired between the two of them that she don't feel comfortable with him touching her or him hugging her?
She just is repulsed by him. She's repulsed by him, but obviously she hasn't looked in the mirror.
Because even when they was playing the video of they getting married, you can see she drank before she actually went up and then did her vows, and then when they kissed, like you can see like she was still pulling back. But then when she mentioned that she don't feel comfortable hugging him, I'm just wondering if maybe something transpired between the two of them, maybe when they were in Vegas on the honeymoon, and then he probably did something that she didn't like.
I think, sorry, Kia, I think it's one of those things. Remember, she hasn't been in a relationship for 7 years, so she's never touched a man, literally, you could say, like that in 7 years. So she's kind of flinching a bit. But yeah, damsel in distress is right. The sex was bad. I'm sorry, you know, there's no excuse for bad sex. There's absolutely no excuse for bad sex. But it's not just the sex, it's the fact of she's just not into him. She wasn't into him when she first saw him, and he was into her because he's really trying. Because when they're on their honeymoon and they first went to bed, she did everything but turn her back on him. And this man was really trying. I don't think, despite the looks, if the experts would have chose a guy for me, if I was so damn desperate and needed a man to be cherry picked off the internet for me, I would give it a try. I would probably bag his head, but I would still give it a try. But I'm sorry, I have to look at Jacob now. Sorry, Kia.
Go ahead, Kia.
No, I'm just thinking I had a truth moment. So it probably was after sex. And, you know, we probably, I'm just going to tell my truth. You know how you have sex with somebody and then you wake up the next day and you be like, oh, I don't believe I did that. So she probably woke up and was like, oh, like you said, too many drinks. And she's like now feeling some type of way and can't believe and don't want to make him think that they're going to go back towards that way. So she like, don't touch me at all. We're not ever having sex. I don't want you to even slide your hand. No, we're not cool.
But also, if you have to drink before lying down with someone, that says more about you. Because I do not drink at all, apart from rare occasions, and I do not need a drink to lie down with a guy that I attracted to. No way do you need a drink. If she needed a drink, she must have thought, you know what, I'm gonna knock this back as fast as I can and numb the pain away. I think perhaps there's something in her past that she hasn't confronted.
True, but you know, she was drinking while she was walking down the aisle. She had even the little fancy
she was drinking. Yeah, she was.
Were you You're
But that's the thing I'm saying. You can see from the start that she looked like she just didn't want to do it. So I don't know why she applied to come on the show. Or maybe when she saw him, she was like, no.
I'd have ran. I'm sorry. And I'd have keep running through those studio doors. They couldn't catch me to give me the fine. I'd have ran all the way to Cuba. I'm sorry. I'm not waking up to no man that looked like that. I'd say your experts are taking the piss. You're not giving me it.
But when you sign up for a show like this, you know, and you have all these expectations of certain looks, then you shouldn't sign up for this because you're taking the experts,
exactly.
You know, they're researching there or whatever, and you don't know who you're going to get hooked up with. So I think that's unfair of the person who's being mean to the other person because you're not like the Chris with the Paige, well, I'm not attracted to her. I think they put makeup on him the first when he got walked down the aisle because every week he just looked a little bit crazier and crazier. We didn't tell the truth. Don't he look a little bit like
there's no makeup that could have hid that their nose. There's
no makeup.
You're wrong for that,
you know, like when he walked down the aisle, he looked a little bit more polished. And then as the weeks go on, he just looked a little bit more like duller and just.
It's the nose, man. It's the nose, man. Take away the nose, he's passable.
You see that's exactly why I prefer a natural woman with makeup on her face because you can think that's what he looked like on the wedding day. The next day she probably woke up and saw him. She was like, Tell
the truth. D, Allie, and Dee. Don't he look different from the day he walked down that aisle? When he walked down that aisle, the lines of the haircut was like drew in, crisp, and whatever you had to go in Atlanta. Yeah. You know the Barbies in Atlanta when they do the haircuts?
Yeah, he had a makeover. He had a good makeover. And then as soon as the days went on, he started to look more and more unkempt by the second. He's rough as hell. I'm sorry. Rough as hell. You could keep him and his busted long nose. No way.
He be look like he just woke up and showed up. I be like, why do you look like you just rolled out of bed? Like, didn't even like wash your face? You did this.
Oh, you ladies, boy. I don't want you ladies see my business. I better start hiding my business. But anyway, I like what he said when he said he's just waiting for the rest of the season so they could just go their separate ways. Because the two of them, they will not last. Now, let's jump on Paige and Chris. Ladies, you'll have the floor. What do you think about that episode with Paige and Chris?
So Paige, I'm not convinced with nothing Paige says, because Paige, anything makes Paige smile. Okay, Paige always has that smile. She probably smiled at the man at the KFC when he tell her, "I'm giving you an extra bill." So Paige, anything will win Paige back. So I'm not convinced at this point. I heard what she's saying, but I did appreciate when she did say, well, maybe I really wasn't hearing from God, so maybe I just need to sit back for a minute. Because you jumped in, kept talking about God this and God that and God this. Now you at the end of the show talking about some, well, maybe I was off.
But look, when it comes, so you're not a little happy that she got you guys, when they had that conversation when when they were playing pools, she got a little energy, and then she came at him with that energy, and I don't know why she haven't been in that all season where she was telling him like how she really felt. And you know,
I'm that chick. I'm not even going to play pool with you because I might stick you. So why you just bought this girl a car? Why are we going to play pool? That conversation wouldn't even happen. So I wasn't impressed. Like, Paige, she's like, and then she all that eye rolling. Girl, stop.
But look, Chris, let's talk about that Chris Jackson, because that's his name now for me. I'm going to call him Chris Jackson.
Why Chris Jackson? Why Chris Jackson?
There's that guy that went viral, Derek Jackson. I don't know if you heard about him.
Oh, I think I've seen that. I think I saw that.
Right. He was some relationship guru, and all the advice he was giving the women, he was doing exactly what he was giving them. And then it just went out of control. Like it's viral, it's all over the internet, but his last name is Jackson. So I'm calling him Chris Jackson because for me, he's just like that relationship guru guy. Like he's doing all the things that he's pretending to be. Like he's pretending to be a man of God, and he's not a man of God. And he says stuff like those scriptures or spiritual stuff to her to get her to take him back, or he just know what to say spiritually or something to do with God, so that he can get Paige in his pocket.
He just wants them spiritual clothes just to drop on the floor. That's all he wants from her. The man doesn't even find this woman attractive at all. But he knows the one thing that he can use. Oh, I'll use the Bible. He probably was in his car, pulled over on the side and researched the paragraph, and he's just going to spring it on. And she's like, oh, Chris. I mean, the man's not attractive at all. He's ugly on the inside. He's ugly on the outside. He'd get the Bible whacked over his head for trying to disrespect me. That's what he would in the Bible. He's disrespectful to the nth degree. I don't know. I'm at the end of my tether with Paige, to be honest with you.
But look, for me, what had started getting me upset is Chris have the audacity to say he wants a serious marriage and he wants a serious relationship. Paige is not there for him emotionally. I was like, what have Paige been doing? Like, what have Paige been doing?
I know what he means. I know exactly what he's talking about, because I think I mentioned to you too before. I was in a similar marriage, not like a Chris type where he's telling me I'm unattractive, but when he wanted to put me down, that's one of the things that he would try and pull little things like, my ex was better looking than you and things like that. Then I'd have to blast him and put him in his place, but it was a battle every day. But what he's doing is playing with her emotions, because he knows she's desperate. She's desperate, and she doesn't want to do anything to rock the boat with him. So she will accept absolutely anything. Because, I mean, what else does he have to do to make her see that it's not working? God never sent this man. God brings people into your life, yes, but God also brings bad people into your life to make you open your eyes. And she doesn't want it. What else does he have to do?
Well, it ended that the two of them, they didn't, because everybody watched the video of when they got married. They didn't celebrate that month anniversary. So I'm just hoping for the rest of that season, Paige keeps that energy.
Do you
I'm
see
hoping.
You told her she's coming. And I'm with D Alley. those type of men will tell you stuff from how you thinking that you need to work on yourself. So that's why he said that, so she can say, well, what else do I need to do? Chris, okay, I'm willing to work on that. When it's nothing really wrong with her, it's him, but he wants to make her, he wants control. Oh, I called you, didn't answer. She was with her mother. Why would I answer the phone for you anyway? I don't care if I was with the dog. Like, sir, you don't even get that, you don't get that level of respect, or you don't even get that, my attention on this level. So I'm over Chris, and Dee gonna get his makeup artist together, and
he's still sleeping with her as well. That's the one thing that he's still doing. He's still sleeping with her, and I think they've got money. I think it's some financial interest, because my ex used to do the same exact thing. He knew I had a little bit of money put down or something, and he wanted that money. I mean, him talking about he wants 4 or 5 businesses, and then he does the little put downs. If you hear it in between, he says things like, oh, you're not quite there yet. Listen, you lost your Subway shop, you idiots. You lost the Subway shop. People were picking up stuff outside the shop. You do not have no money. So be quiet. That was 2019. He's fooling no one but Paige. Paige is so dumb. I'm sorry. There's nothing more you can say to her. When I seen her crying, I thought, yeah, cry, you fool. Cry. You deserve to cry, because there's nothing else anybody can say to this woman to make her wake up. And we women, we've been in that spot. We've been there. You know, we know how painful it is. And even guys have been there with women. When you're giving, and all they're doing is taking and taking. So, but sometimes you have to let things really hurt you to eventually wake up. And I'm sorry, I wouldn't be waking up with no man that walks around with pink sneakers anyway. So, and
you just had to do it, dear. That was the last episode, but you had to do it.
Well, DL, you see that blue suit this week?
Oh Lord, that man! Who dressed him?
What's wrong with this suit? I didn't say it wasn't bad.
Dee, if you come on this show with that blue suit, we not gonna be friends.
Well, I'm about to order one right now. I'll put especially for Diali, and I'll put Diali and Kia on like your names, and I'm gonna put my jacket on. So I'm putting especially for you guys.
Oh,
I don't care. Maybe after that, Kia might not come on my show. I'll lose a great caller if Kia. Maybe after that, Kia might not. But I know Diali will still come, right, Diali?
No. You can't interest me with no blue suit. You'd have to move yourself with that. You're dressing like Chris on this panel.
All right, well, I'll stick to what I got. So, Kia, you telling me if a guy came to you with that blue suit, you'll not give him a chance? I'm sorry, Kia. I apologize.
I think that's a no.
I don't think I know.
Ankles. So I don't care what trend it is. Okay, you got knickerbockers on. And you stop at your ankles and it's fitted. I'm good.
But you what creeps me out about Chris again, that voice. Whenever Paige asks him something, well, I'm kind of like an introvert. I don't want to what's wrong with what's wrong with his voice?
He's got no energy. He's got no energy. The man looks like he needs an Alka-Seltzer or a vitamin or something.
Like you have a frog in his throat or something.
Yeah, he's constantly rah, rah, rah. Is he trying to be cool? I think the trousers too tight, making him a bit, lose his voice a little. And the pink sneakers do not help.
But let me ask you a question. When he said Paige acts one way on camera and she acts a different way off camera, just your opinion? I know he's a compulsive liar, yes, but just what do you think about that as well? Like when he said that?
He just wants to get in her drawers. That's all. He will say anything to her. Remember, there's nothing he can say to turn her off. This man is doing everything to make this woman walk off the show, and without him getting the £100,000 fine. He's trying everything. He brought this B-Tech, wannabe model on there. She thinks she was a model. She just looks like an idiot. Because if you're, as a woman, you cannot bring down another woman, and think you're going to be the winner. I mean, Chris is no prize. He's no prize whatsoever. But there's nothing he can say or do to her to turn her off. She's going to, anything he says to her, he could turn around tomorrow and said, you know what? I fell into bed and fell on top of your mom. She would be, okay, let's do Bible study. She's so dumb. She's so dumb. I don't know what else to say to Paige. I just think she's damaged. She's very damaged from a relationship before. And this show was the worst thing for her. This show was the absolute worst thing for her.
No, but Diali, at that point, the reason why he made that statement is because he's trying to say, like, she's lying. Like because she, like she said, she has her own life. Like, he wants to, whenever he calls, she picks up the phone. Like, that narcissistic behavior. Whenever he calls, he wants her to pick up the phone. Like, she, like he's saying, like, 1 minute when she's on camera, she's acting lovey-dovey, but off camera, she's a different person.
Yeah, because she knows he's off camera. Remember, he's probably saying to her, get off me, get away from me. But on camera, he knows everybody has watched this on camera and realized this guy is he's a douchebag. He's a total douchebag. And it doesn't matter, him saying you didn't pick up the phone, you didn't do this. This is all part of being a narcissist. He just wants to control her. He still wants to be able to sleep with her whenever he wants, be able to not sleep with her whenever he chooses, bring his busted, twig looking girlfriend around that he had in the background all the time. This isn't a new thing. This was all part of the plan. This was a backup plan to get rid of Paige. But
go ahead, Kia.
No, I'm just saying, well, just to kind of back off what both you guys said, this type of behavior is a sickness. It's a control thing for Chris. Once you let a person like that know your weaknesses or what you want, they will use those things against you. So he knows that she wants the relationship. So he's dangling that carrot in front of her. So anything that she does, he's going to make an issue. And I can speak to that because I, lived that, where anything that I do, like, oh, well, you did this. Like you said, you didn't answer the phone. Okay, I was at work. I have a real job. So at that point, he knows what he wants to make it bigger than what it is. My ex said I'm the worst person in the whole wide world. You be like, dude, I'm the bomb. But it took me to get away from him to realize I was the bomb.
Right. Amen.
But he was like, everything that I was doing, he was telling everybody in the world. But like I said, I was quiet and I let the people see for themselves. So that's what he's doing, trying to make Paige, second guess herself. Like, oh, well, you didn't answer the phone. Okay, so what? I don't want to call him no names, but so what, dude? I didn't answer the phone. And what? You got a whole baby mama. You bought a whole car. So what? I didn't answer the phone. And thank you, Red Nurse.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I say, like, that in that episode, that's what really pissed me off with that man. Like I said, I call him Chris Jackson now. That man is so, he has a big ego. He's so full of himself.
Narcissist.
Yeah, and he's a narcissist, and then
narcissist.
He wants to blame Paige for not wanting to spend time with him anymore. He wants to blame Paige for not this. He's saying she's not taking the relationship serious. She's not taking the marriage serious. He wants to blame her too because she's not being emotionally supportive to him. Like, what do you want Paige to do at this point where you just using and abusing the woman?
The only thing I would say. Hold
on. Let Kia go and then you'll go after. Go ahead, Kia.
No, I was saying Diali said get away Paige because he probably already like the baby mama car might be in Paige name for all we know. So he's like that manipulative that he will have Paige all messed up. By the time she get through with Chris, she probably gonna be like $100,000 in debt, child support, all kind of stuff. Chris is not the type of guy that you want in your life. And once they use you up, they'll go on to the next one to use her up. They'll tell you everything about what's wrong with you. And then when they can't control you no more, or they feel like they can't use you, they move on. So Chris, he's keeping her around for a reason. Because again, Diali, it's something, like you said, she looked good on paper. So it's something he know that he could still get from her besides just sex.
I think she's giving him money. I think throughout this show, secretly, she's giving him money. Do you remember? He never wanted anything to do with the joint bank accounts because this man is a broke-ass bitch. You know, he knows he's a broke-ass bitch with a broke-ass Subway store that he hasn't got no credentials left whatsoever. So along comes this dimwit called Paige, and he could do anything and say anything to her, and she will still be there. He's a narcissist and she's a victim.
Yeah, she is. But anyway, that's it. I don't really want to discuss Vincent and Briana because the two of them, they were good for me. In that episode when I look at it, they were good.
For
It's just
now.
yeah,
For now.
For now. Let's just
that man is mental.
I want to give them some grace.
Nah.
Unless you and Kia have anything to say about the two of them, but I'll give them the grace this review.
Yeah, he's been looking at the comments. He's been looking at the comments and realized, you know, his shirt that he wears was way too tight the other week. You know, I mean, he's looking a little aggressive to this squeaky looking black girl that's trying to do some silly, you know, rubbish busted Spanish. And I mean, she can't research Spanish herself. It's, you know, learn the basics. It's easy. You know, she doesn't need this fool to be telling her that. And he's only holding it down because the cameras have made him look terrible in a different light. Perhaps he's not totally aggressive coming across, but for the viewing public, it doesn't look very good. So no, he's played it down for the cameras this week. Don't worry, next week he'll be back on form. He'll be being
I'm looking forward to next week because in the ending the show, Virginia and Erik getting into it. That's going to be good next week. But go ahead, yeah.
I'm worried about Vincent is he sounds like he could work for Hallmark. He says all the perfect things. So that's a little scary because it's like every time he opens his mouth, it's always just perfect. It's just like almost like, yes, I do this for you. And I do this for our future children. And this and that. Everything he says is just so perfect. So I think he just needs to lighten up and just be himself because eventually he's going to get tired of being this perfect person. So that would be my advice to Vincent.
All right. So let's go. Closing remarks. Let's start with Diali because we know Diali always keep it.
Chris, I want to invest in Chris's wardrobe. I want to just go through it, remove the pink, remove the ankle trousers, and you know, and get him a haircut, get him some etiquette. And to be honest, I'd like to buy him a ticket on the way out, the opposite way to Paige. And Paige, I would just, I think she should just stay off men. If she's reading the right Bible that I've read, I think she needs to stay away from men because it's just not working. You know, just wait, take your time. Look at the red flags. The red flags are so bright. She's not listening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Chris, I'm sorry, I can't stand him. He man needs pink pants. No way. Goodbye, Chris.
It's Chris Jackson. We baptize him Chris Jackson. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just, you know, for all these relationships, you know, they are, you know, I just say in any relationship, you know, if you include God, you can't go wrong. When you include yourself and you know, that's when things start going crazy. So I think if they really like take, you know, heed to, you know, God and pay attention to what's really going on, they'll, you know, they all can survive. But again, some people, God is just not in it, like with the Chris and Paige and the others. That's all I have to say.
And shout out your channel and your book. You know you gotta shout out your channel and your book.
So my YouTube is Kia Simone, the same way it is on the screen. I'm on Instagram. I'm author Kia Simone. And my book is From Pain to Love. And like Red Nurse said, I'm gonna give her a shout out. It's a great read. So make sure you support your girl and let me know what you think.
All right. Thank you, Kia. I appreciate that. And Kia and Diali, I promise you I'm going to get that suit. Now, let me give my closing remarks. So I just want to say, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. And let's just make it happen. I'll see you guys next week. I'm planning to do a live on Sunday, but I will get there. But I want to talk about something to do with relationships on Sunday because some of those shows have some good talking points. So I think on Sunday, I'll probably do something to do with a relationship talk. So hope you guys tune in. Thank you, everybody, for coming in the chat. Thank you for everybody in the chats. And
what time?
We're out of it. Usually I go live either 1 that would be 5. My time would probably be 8 your time. So
Okay.
on Vegas time, it would be 1 Vegas time. Or
Okay,
I might
great.
go 2 Vegas time, which would be my time would be 6 or 6, 5 or 6 my time. Here,
Okay.
your time is
We're still on the same time because of daylight
right,
savings time.
right. Daylight savings time. But if anything, I'm going to post it on my Instagram. So if you're on my Instagram, you'll see me. You'll see what I have planned. But I want to talk about some of, especially Mr. Chris Jackson and
Oh,
that Derek Jackson guy. I want to talk about him as well, like because that guy has so much women coming out and saying what he really is, and it's just so scary. So I'll probably get me a panel and probably talk about it. That's my plan. Let's just hope I make it happen on Sunday. But I hope you guys tune into me on Sunday. I wanna have a discussion about that because it's very interesting that when you think a man is what he's supposed to be, and then he's totally demonic, in my opinion, and he's
not just
not the
men,
right man.
Indy, not just men, women. There's some demon women out there. We have to defend the men. There's some good guys out there.
Yeah, you're right, the Ali. But then the thing with that Derek Jackson guy, because I want to close out after this, is he came on a pedestal, making himself look like he was the great advisor to women. He was the women's savior and giving the women advice, and he's just nothing as what he says. But we'll talk about it on Sunday. Trust me, I want to do a show about it on Sunday. So we'll have some good talking points. You can call in. And you could probably take some time to look it up, Diali, to see what.
Yeah.
Go on this. There's this woman, Tasha K. Shout out to Tasha K.
Yes.
Tasha K is going in hard on him. So Tasha K has all of it on him on her channel.
Okay, great. Thank
All right,
you.
guys. So on 3, we're out of here. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye.